You could say, look, we could say this. I think I'm taller than you, right? Am I taller than you are? Okay. I could say Pat is taller than Chalk. Spelling it right, please. Pat is taller than Chalk. That's how you use than. There's a few other ways to use than too.
Can you say, teacher is taller than me?
Yes, oh yes. And you would say, in this time, you wouldn't want to use an article. Not a big deal. But the teacher is taller than me. Or than I am. Than I am.
Part one better.
This is better. And you typically would not just say, it's not a big deal, really. But you typically would not just say teacher. You would say the teacher, the school.
Teacher. Teacher. He speaks so slowly.
Oh, slowly. I'll try to do that. Thank you. I need lots of reminders. Thank you for doing that. Uh-oh. Now here's the quiz.
Another sentence.
Oh, we have to have another sentence. You're right. I said two, didn't I? Another sentence.
My favorite song is More Than I Can Say.
More than what?
More Than I Can Say. The name of the song.
Oh, that's the name of a song?
Yeah.
More than.
More Than I Can Say. Whoa, yeah.
Can you sing it for us?
Yes, a little.
Oh, good.
Whoa, yeah. I love you more than I can say. When I smile to slow. Whoa, I love you more than I can say.
Lovely. Lovely.
So,
Very well done. My favorite song is More Than I Can Say. And then in the United States, if we were going to write this like in a paper that we'd turn in, we would probably, because it's the name of something like a song or a book, we would probably do this.
in quote.
Quotation marks.
Quotations.
So that's how we would do that probably. So you know then and
You should
then.
write the name quotation. Yes, quotation. Right?
Write it, okay. These are quotation marks. You're welcome. Why don't you take, no, I said there was going to be a quiz, but I think there really isn't. We're going to have fun after this. Why don't you take like a tiny break? A tiny break. Tiny. Tiny, just little, 5 minutes. Come right back, please. Come right back. 5 minutes breaks. Okay, don't do it. Yay. Great. And I'm going to get ready for the next, I'm going to have a quiz.
Teacher, where you come from? New York?
No, I come from Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Sheridan, Wyoming. I grew up in Missouri, which Missouri is in the middle of the United States. Then I got married and I went to Wyoming, which is really way north. I have one daughter who lives in New York. Have you been to New York?
No.
One daughter in New York,
In New York.
and one daughter lives in my hometown, 2 blocks away from me. Only 2 blocks away. It's wonderful. She just bought a house and she lives 2 blocks.
She's smart, doesn't have own house.
Pardon me?
She's really smart. She's still very young. She's still very young, but she can buy her own house. It means
Yes, yes. She can buy her own
Yeah,
house.
she's smart.
Because she has it in my town. They're very good to their teachers. My town pays their teachers very well.
อาจารย์นะครับ
They also,
อาจารย์นะครับ
if they don't think you're a good teacher, they get rid of you. You are what we call fired.
How old is she?
She is 31. My daughter in New York is 33. I am 63.
รุ่นเดียวไม่ยอม
You pardon me?
Yeah.
ลูกยาวที่เชื่อลูกยาว
You know, teacher, you don't have to be silly. I think I look
very strong
older.
strong
Oh, thank you. I think I look older. I always looked older. Even when I was 10, I looked older.
รุ่นเดียว
My name is
Union yes
Pat.
Pat PNG
You got it. Yes, ma'am.
Teacher, would you like to have a break?
Yes, but just a tiny one. But I'm not going to go out. I'm going to do some things here and get ready for you when you come back. And also I'm going to get some books. Hang on.
แกแข็งแรงมาก
ไม่เก็ตของป้าให้เราไปเอกสารเก็บไปดูต่อ
อย่าลืมนะอย่าลืมนะไม่อย่าลืมนะเฉยๆต่อไม่ได้เล่นเฟซบุ๊กใช่ไหมส่งไลน์ที่ไม่ได้ไลน์ เดี๋ยวไฟเราจะทำยังไงลูกไม่ได้ทำแต่เราเล่นเองไม่อยากแต่ก็ฝันเราไม่ได้ตามเราไม่ได้ตามใครไม่ได้ถึงอะไรเราเพื่อนสนิทเลยป้าโจนป้าเขาเปิดวางแล้วแต่ไม่ได้บอกพี่โจนที่โจนบอกเขาสั่งฝากสหาก็ฝากสหาที่แขก2พี่น้องอันนี้เขาจะมาบอกว่าที่แกไปนู่นแล้วใช่ไหม2 คนพี่น้องไปนู่นเลยเอาไปแล้วเหรอพี่ยังบ้างตอนนี้มาเรียนอยู่ยังนานตอนนี้ก็ไปทำงานเราก็ไปเจอกันนี่แหละอ๋อเมลหากันไปแล้วพี่เมลอยู่ตอนนี้ก็ช่วยอยู่ช่วยโจน2 คนช่วยอ๋อช่วยแล้วทำงานLet me know if I have something else. Thank you, Tisha. You're welcome. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't think there's more though. I think I'm going to have to amend your And then I'm hoping to get you. You're welcome. So if you two would please share, that would be great. And I have my own copy. If you two could share. You would have my book in there. You've read it? You have. Have you read it? Okay. Okay. So we might read it again. Okay. Good. Tisha? You're a genius. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Mesh หลายเรื่องเนี่ยได้เรียนเรื่องนั้นแบบที่จริงจะเจอตอนเศร้าตอนจบไอ้แบบเซอร์สปอร์เฟียนที่โน่ใช่ที่โน่อะไรที่โน่อะไรที่โน่ใช่เคยที่บ้านมีนี้เราก็วันนานี่ไงวันนาที่โน่เนี่ยเราก็เรียนว่าดีเป็นตัวเรียนแบบที่เชิญเรียนวันนา
Does everyone have a copy? Okay. I'm going to do a few other things before we get started.
Please tell me whether you should have been
This someone
to
nicely better than winter. So I'm 5. Yes.
able to run.
Oh,
I'm able to run
Then
faster than
just chưa cùng chung là phá từ đại sản xuất đang ảnh trạng rất là cô trong
then let's go
Oh, the next one is going to be hard. Oops, I messed up. 2 5s. Suraphet. Am I saying it right? Suraphet? Suraphet.
Suraphet.
Suraphet. Would you please read number 1?
Okay.
Thank you.
I like spring better than winter.
Do you agree with Suraphet?
yes.
I like speak
Better than.
So we agree? Anyone want to offer a different opinion?
Yes.
Okay.
I say spring for you.
Now,
You see it right.
Tim, would you say that just a little bit louder, please?
Because I'm healthy and able to run a race faster than Chan.
Anyone want to disagree politely?
Yes.
And you will say that so well. You say then and then very well. I thought that would be harder than it is for you. I gotta make things harder, I guess. Sue's not here. Uh-oh. Sue P,
Yes.
do you feel like you would like to read number 3?
Let's go to lunch. Then let's go shopping.
Do we agree? Anyone want to disagree?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to lunch, then let's go shopping. I think we should all have sticky rice. Oh, I had the most wonderful lunch. It was some kind of, would it be called watermelon soup, maybe? And it was this melon that was long, and then it was scooped down in the middle, and it had this meat in it.
No, melon is a cucumber. Melon is red and green.
That's what I thought. Okay, so it's more of a cucumber. Oh, so it was a cucumber soup. Oh, it was so wonderful. It was delicious. Lee, do you feel comfortable doing number 4?
The fruit is more bitter than the vegetable.
Thank you. Anyone want to disagree?
Yes.
Who wants to disagree? So you think it's then? So we have some disagreement. The fruit is more bitter than the vegetable. The fruit is more bitter than the vegetable. Why do you disagree, Nadia? Which one do we use to compare? That. Yeah. So in this situation, that is the better choice.
And this means, number 3, you can use and then, or just then. Let's go to lunch and then let's go.
You may certainly write it the way you're talking about. Yes, either way. I'll do it your way too. That's called a compound sentence, I believe.
Yes, go to
So you can certainly write it that way. Either way is fine. Oh my goodness, number 6 is a little bit tricky. Tricky. Who wants number 6? Rather than sewing, I prefer to read. So again, we're making a comparison. Comparing two things. Well done, folks. Then and then. How many of you have read this? So this is an experiment. I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing. I've been told by other teachers this might be a good thing to do. So, we may read the whole thing together. Yes. Did you have a question that I can answer? No.
To whom is different story?
Oh, do we have 2 different books? Oh, because they're purple. The pearl.
This only one.
Only one. Okay. I will try to get it. Well, thank you, Nadia. And don't spend a lot of time. If you can't find it, you can't find it. No matter what, I'm going to try to get some extra ones. Everyone has the pearl? The pearl has nothing to do with then and then. This is a famous piece of fiction in the United States. I read this in high school. It's often something that people read in their college classes or in their high school. This author's name is Steinbeck, and he's quite famous in the United States. Pearl. Let's say that together. Pearl. So, pearl. Kind of like a kitten, purr, a kitten, purr, pearl. Now watch this, be careful, because it sounds like plural, and it's not. Plural, here's pearl, come on, pearl, and it sounds an awful lot like the word plural. Plural means more than one. But it's not plural, it's pearl. Pearl. And not pearl. Pearl. Well done. Singular. What did I do with my book? Oh, here it is. And the author's name is Steinbeck. So, you know what? We're going to try this. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea. But we're going to give it a shot. That means we're going to try it, to give it a shot. And see if this is a good thing for us or not. Let's skip the first part. Let's skip the introduction. And let's go to chapter 1. But first, you know what we need to do? We need to talk about pearls. Are pearls, do you?
Very expensive.
Very expensive, yes. The good ones are. Oh, look at you. Are they real pearls?
Yes.
Okay, now this is, yes, I forgot. I forgot I got the pearls. These are not real. These are not real. They are fake pearls.
There are a lot of pearls in the south of Thailand.
Oh, okay. So these are fake. They did not cost me any much money. In the United States, people don't wear, older women wear pearl necklaces if they really dress up. Really a sophisticated woman might wear a suit with pearls. But a lot of people don't wear pearls as much.
But in Thailand, in any occasion,
Is that right?
any
Okay.
occasion.
Okay, lovely to know. So do you know from where real pearls come?
In Thailand, we have pearl. It's so that to feed the pearl for the sea.
Oh, okay.
And Phuket and south of Thailand.
Okay, oh, that's what you're saying, yes. So where would I find a real pearl? Of what fish? Oyster. Oysters. I don't know much about it. I know that it takes a long time to make a real one, and a beautiful one. These are plastic. Yeah. But let's do a little reading. Chapter 1. Do you know what a scorpion is? Do we have those in Thailand?
Yes.
Oh, mercy.
Inside the poison.
Yeah, they are poison, aren't they? In Wyoming, we do not have scorpions. In other parts of the United States, we certainly do have scorpions. Okay, I'm wondering what would be the best way to do this? Is there someone who would like to read the first paragraph? Oh, go right ahead, please.
Chapter 1, the scorpion bite. It was not yet light when Kino woke up. The stars still shone, though the eastern sky was pale with the promise of the day. Lying in his bed on the floor of his small wooden house, Kino listened to the singing of the birds and the sounds of the chickens and the early pigs outside.
Lovely. From what you're reading, do you think Kino lives in a city or in the country? Why do you think that?
Because there's
Singing of the birds.
Okay, chickens and pigs.
small wooden house.
Great. Kino's eyes opened. He looked first at the empty square, which was the door. Then he looked at the hanging box where Coyotito slept. And last he turned his head to Juana, his wife. Juana's eyes were open too, and she was looking back at Kino. I'd love for someone else to read the next paragraph.
He looked aloud.
Kino's eyes opened. He looked first at the empty square, which was the door. Then he looked at the hanging box where Coyotito slept. At last he turned his head to Juana, his wife. Juana's eyes were open too, and she was looking back at Kino.
Thank you. Who would like to read the next one? Please.
Kino was the child of the ocean. It was very good. Kino closed his eyes again and listened to his music. His people love music, and in the past, everything is right. Became a song. This now was a song of fishermen and palace. Kino, like his neighborhood, lived from the ocean.
So what are you guessing about how he makes a living? How he earns his money? From the ocean. Yeah, from the ocean. Like the sea. And if there's ever a word that you'd like us to talk more about, let's do it if you don't know the word. Juana stood up quietly and walked to Coyotito's hanging box. She spoke soft words of love to her baby boy and then went to build the fire. Now Kino got up and put on his shoes. He went outside to watch the morning come. It was cold, but he was young and strong. His black hair hung down over his brown face, almost to his warm, bright eyes. His mustache was thin and rough. Do you know mustache? Like right here is a mustache. Yeah. Behind him, and I'm told that these can be your books, so if you want to write in them, you may. I'm going to ask you some questions about whether you should take them home or not. We'll talk about that. But you can write in these if you like. Behind him, Juana's fire was burning strongly, and she was preparing food. There were no new songs in the town these days, but there were personal songs. In Kino's head now, the song of the family was playing. Pardon me. I'd love for someone to read the next paragraph, the sun. Hopefully we got Chuck, or you can do it. Thank you, Chuck.
The sun round and great and see the sky blue and go over the ocean. Kino had to cover his eyes against the brightness of it. He could smell the corn cakes cooking. It was morning like other mornings, but it was the most perfect of them all.
Corn cakes. Yeah.
Corn cake.
Corn cake. You said it well. It's interesting. I grew up with corn cakes. My mother would make cornmeal pancakes, and we called them corn cakes. Do you think Kino and Juana and Coyotito do they think they're from the United States? Do you think they're from Thailand? What do you think about them? You can be wrong. We're just making a prediction, thinking about what might be. Do you think they're from the United States? No. Why not? Well, I'm going to ask a different question. Do you think they're from Thailand? Oh, some people say yes, some people say no.
Mexico.
Mexico. Why are you thinking Mexico?
Because of food.
The food. Okay. I'm interested in the hanging box. I wonder what a hanging box. I mean, I know what a hanging box is, but I'm curious about why there would be someone in a hanging box. Let's keep reading. Kino heard Juana take Coyotito out of his hanging box and clean him. She sang softly to her baby, and this was part of the family song. It was all part of it. he felt warm inside and safe and complete. So now we see the baby in the hanging box, don't we? I'd love for someone to read the paragraph that starts smoke.
Cái này là người chỉ là